Hello, I'm Elliot, and I work for SEGA in their video team, and you're listening to the SEGA Lounge. Yeah.
Welcome to the SEGA Lounge, where we celebrate our love for all things SEGA, including the games, the music, and the community. I'm your host, KC. Join me as I talk to different guests and learn more about their projects and passion for SEGA. Welcome to the SEGA Lounge. A new week means a new guest, and I'm glad you're on that side listening. If you missed previous episodes of the show, remember to follow the podcast on your favorite podcatcher app or visit our website, thesegalounge.com, where you can find them all neatly archived and categorized. Our website is also the only place where you can find more information about our guests, including a short bio and all their relevant links. And if you do pay us a visit, why not leave a comment on one of our episode pages, use the contact form to make a suggestion, or leave us a review. I'd love to hear from you. That said, I'm really excited about this episode, so let's get to it. This week, I'm joined on the lounge by the man, the legend, that is Elliot Kidner, head of video at SEGA of Europe, or as I like to say, video wizard at SOE. I had an amazing time talking to Elliot, and my only regret is not inviting him on the show sooner. I know you'll love this interview as much as I did recording it, so without further ado, here's my chat with Mr. Kidner. Hello, Elliot. Welcome to the SEGA Lounge.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's an honour to be asked to come on this show. I've heard other guests have been asked. I was waiting my turn, and now my turn's arrived. I feel deeply honoured.
We usually save the best for last on this show, so that's how we roll here.
That's what I like. I like I'm the top billing. I go on at the end. Perfect.
Exactly. No opening act for you, like just
no
top
straight
billing.
on.
Yeah, exactly. So, Elliot, it's really nice to have you. We talked about this before we started recording. You feel like, oh, why am I here? I'm nothing. I'm no one important. Really, I think you'll be an amazing guest of this show. I've talked to several people who've been on the show before, and they all suggested Elliot. Elliot should be on the SEGA Lounge. You're going to have a ball. You're going to have a blast with him.
I didn't realise you'd interviewed my mother. She would be the only one who would say such kind words. But yeah, thank you.
Most downloaded episode of the podcast, your mother. Yes, definitely. Our best guest ever.
It's going to be, definitely. Yeah. I can imagine her. What? Video game? What's that? Is that Space Invaders? What? No, I shouldn't say that about my poor mother. I'm sure she'd know.
Brilliant. So would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? So how you're obviously working for SEGA right now, and we'll talk about that. But what's your history with video games, for example?
Well, I mean, if we're talking how did I ever get into video games, it started a long time ago because I'm very old. My mum and dad bought me a Commodore 64, and that made me absolutely love video games. And at a time when loving video games wasn't as cool as it is now, like it was just a handful of us who played video games. But fast forward, that's all for my whole life. I played video games, and then but my other love, I was television, and I always wanted to work in television. So I worked for a company that wanted to make a TV program about video games, and I was like, I can do it. I in the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, and I knew everything because no one else knew anything. So it was like, ask Elliot, he knows about video games. So yeah, I got to do that. And that was Gamer TV, which was like a weekly sort of video game review show that was syndicated around the world. It was on in where I live in the UK. It was on a channel called Bravo, but across the world it went out on different channels in different territories, and that was brilliant fun. And I did that for about 10 years, and then unfortunately it got closed down. But as it got closed down, Sega bizarrely phoned me and said, we hear that you know how to make videos about video games, and would you be interested in setting up our video team? And I was like, well, you're a bit far away on the other side of London from where I live, but I'd always always loved Sega, so I was like, yeah, I'll come and do it for 6 months, and I've been there for 15 years now, because it sounds creepy and like very Disney-esque, but it's once you work for Sega, I don't think you ever want to leave. It's such a great place to work. So that's my life story summed up. That's it. That's all I've got. Sorry, I've got nothing else. I have done other things along the way, but those are the key video game type ways. Okay.
So you said you started playing video games very early in your life.
Yes.
Thanks to your mom and dad, which is awesome. Yeah. Were they gamers as well, or did they just buy something for you to play like a?
No. My we'd always played at the arcades. We went on holiday. Me and my dad would always play like Double Dragon. I'm trying to think what other old ones were around in those days, but Double Dragon is all I can think of. Suddenly, so my mind's gone blank. We put an Outrun, but that was a bit later. Mm-hmm. But so my dad liked games, and then he worked with somebody that said, "Oh, I've got this thing called a ZX Spectrum. It's amazing. You can play games." So my dad was like, "Oh, I'm going to have to get my son something like that." So he went to the shops, and they said, "Oh, you don't want the Spectrum. You want this Commodore 64. It's got much better graphics, blah blah blah." So my dad was like, he sold it to my mum that, like everyone, it can help him with his homework, and we can do the household accounts and what have you with it.
It's a computer.
It's a computer. It's a computer. So that was, and they were like, "Oh well," and my birthday is very near to Christmas, so they got me this. What they said, right? We'll get you. It's a joint present. You're not getting loads of other things. You're just getting this games console, and it blew my mind. The Commodore 64 was the greatest. I say it to because my dad's unfortunately no longer with us, but I say to my mum all the time still, I say, that machine is the greatest thing you ever did for me. It's paid for my house because, I got into games when other people weren't, and now I work in games. So yeah, that's how I got into games. Yeah, they wanted, my dad wanted to get into it. So he once we had it, he would play games with me. But yeah, that's okay. Yeah. That's where we got it from.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The Commodore 64 was my gateway drug, I like to call it. I have moved on from the Commodore 64, but that was the gateway.
Like more powerful stuff. Yeah.
Yes,
that usually happens.
A bigger hit. I'm chasing the dragon. I've gone from one. I've never experienced that great feeling of watching Frogger on the Commodore 64. I've played, I've played everything since, but nothing comes close.
That's a great metaphor. Yes. Sorry, kids. Sorry, kids.
So I'm going to get in trouble.
Don't do drugs. Don't do
drugs are bad.
Unless they're the Commodore 64.
The good ones. Yeah, exactly. The Commodore 64 type, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a drug out there that's called the Commodore 64.
There must be.
Yeah. The Mega Drive and
definitely 100% the Mega Drive, the Genesis, and
probably
Super Nintendo.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe
Saturn, Dreamcast, obviously. Yeah, you can't go wrong. Yeah. I'm not too sure about the Atari ST or the Amiga, but definitely the Dreamcast.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the best name for a drug. If we were to ever,
but we don't condone drugs in any way, do we? Of course not. No. And nor would Sega, obviously. obviously,
yes.
But I imagine some bad people have gone, "Oh, look, that's an exciting name. We'll use that for our drug empire."
So moving swiftly on.
Let's move on before I get in trouble.
Yeah. So before those, how many years? 14 now? Yeah.
Worked at Sega.
Oh, yes, at Sega?
Yes. Well, it's coming up to 15 in September.
Okay,
So
so-
that'll be 15 years.
So
yeah.
when this episode goes up, it's gonna be Elliot worked for Sega for almost 15 years,
yeah.
and then drugs. The drug
They
talk
destroyed him. Yeah, I got booted. Yeah, the ruin, bringing
So
the bad name of Sega. Sonic himself is going to come. There's another name for one. Sonic.
Yes,
he's going to come round and yank me off the.
I mean,
podcast.
Sonic Speed could also be like a better version. I mean, yes. So
we digress. Let's move on before I get in trouble.
So, your love for TV, by the way, how did that start? Just by watching? Was there anything specific?
I was always interested in the way that television was made. I like lots of people say, "Oh, I wanted to get into TV. I want to be famous." I was really excited by how, like, I'd seen massive cameras at sporting events and things like that, and I just thought, it'd be such good fun. And I used to watch all the sort of making of documentaries that would show behind the scenes on TV. It would just fascinate me, and I'd always wanted to work for the BBC again. In Britain, it's to me, I say it like a badge of honour. Yeah, so I've always wanted to work for the BBC, which I hasten to add I did, and it was good. Yeah, all I ever wanted was to have a BBC web address so I could send an email to my mum and dad and go, look, I am at the BBC. Because to them, if you work in TV, that is the place to go. It's the pinnacle. So that was, So I've always wanted to get into TV. And so I went to university and I did a degree in media production where we made TV programs, documentaries and things like that. And so it's sort of stayed with me my whole life. That's always what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Just games would just happen to be the same.
Yeah. You never worked in Doctor Who though?
No.
Right? So I'm seeing a TARDIS, but no.
I know.
No.
That is biggest blow in my life. Although, bizarrely, I want to be in an episode. I'd love to work on it, obviously, but I would love to be in an episode of Doctor Who. Like my son is a budding actor, and he's got like an agent, and he does auditions and all this. So I'm just praying that one day he gets into Doctor Who, and now I go on set with him to look after him, and they're like, "Oh, we need another person in the background." I'm like, "I'm your man. I'm your man. I'm going to be there. What do you want me to say and stand? Do you want me to be a Dalek? I'm your man." So that's hopefully one day in the future, and especially if I get the sack from referencing narcotics on the podcast, then that's what I'll be doing next.
I don't know if that works, if that's like a good credit. I got booted from Sega because I referenced drugs.
Yeah. But so Doctor Who, you'll have me. Yeah.
Yes, of course, obviously. A family-friendly show, obviously.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Definitely.
Maybe you'll get hired to do a PSA, like something for like the doctor, a future doctor will use you as an example of kids don't
do
ever
drugs.
don't do drugs. Don't
drugs.
Speak of drugs. Don't mention drugs because your life will be ruined forever.
Yeah, exactly. That's or just use the TARDIS to go back in time and put it right. And when I mention
I like that. Yes.
That
and then his life was better because of the doctor.
And because he didn't talk about drugs.
Exactly. The doctor prevented him from mentioning drugs.
And everyone was happy. Yeah.
And now we're talking about drugs again.
I know.
Anyway.
I don't know what it is. It's bizarre. I got to stop. I am going to get in trouble. I must stop. Right, I'm not going to mention it once more.
Okay, only twice. Moving on. So you said you're part of the Sega video team.
Yeah.
What does that entail? So, and what's the difference? What's different from when you first started working for Sega almost 15 years ago to today, where obviously you've probably got more work to do, a bigger team to work with, I assume, right?
Yeah. So basically, it all started, like I say, I was just coming to the end of my contract at the BBC, and I was freelancing, making what we used to call EPKs, which are electronic press kits. So in those old days, like video games companies would ask us to make, as well as we made a TV program, we'd also make EPKs for people. So we would like capture gameplay footage and put it on an old digibeta, which is like a tape that we would then you would send out to people, companies that needed it. So Sega heard that I made these for Gamer and said, right, can you come in? We want to do all this in house. Can you set it up? We don't have anyone here. And I was like, oh, that'd be fun. So it was like, oh yeah, I'll do that for a couple of months, get it all set up for him. So I went in. There was basically, I had an empty room, literally an empty room with a desk in. There was no computer, nothing. So I had, basically they said, I can't remember the budget now. I think it was about 30 grand. Go and get what you need. So I bought a couple of cameras, some editing software and a PC. And that's how I started. And then, so basically all at that stage, all I was doing was people in agencies in America or Japan would send in a trailer that they'd made for the Japanese audience, and I would then change it into what we call eFigs, which is English, French, Italian, German, Spanish for the European market. So that would involve changing all the call outs, 60 frames a second, multiplayer action, and I would change all of that into the different languages. And so that was the first job that we did. And then I said to them, look, I've got these cameras. Why don't I make some sort of dev diaries, behind the scenes stuff, which I love doing. That's I still to this day, I love making dev diaries, because you just go to studios and just film really interesting people talking about their games. So we moved on to that. So they gave me another person. So there was two of us for the first couple of years. And we started doing stuff like that. And while we were doing all the localizing, and then we just moved on from there. We got bigger and bigger as we've moved. We film everything now. We do. Yeah. So I always say, when someone says to me, so what do you do at Sega as a video team? And I always say, basically, if there's a video, we're involved somewhere. So that can mean obviously from a cinema trailer, a high-end TV ad, a dev diary, but all the way down back to a recruitment video that somebody wants for HR. We'll do leaving videos. When somebody leaves, we sometimes, put together lots of people saying, oh, we're sorry you're leaving. I never understand why they want to leave Sega, but, occasionally it does happen. Sometimes somebody pays more. That can be the only reason. So, we do things like that. So anything with a video in, we sort of do. So, we've done nomination videos that have been shown for BAFTA and or everything. Okay. So anything with a video, that's what we do in the video team at Sega. And now there's four of us full time there, and we have freelancers come in now and again when we need it. And obviously we now cover all the events, so we go to all the shows and film those and make TikTok videos, everything that's changed throughout the years, Instagram. See, I'm still down with the kids. I know all these words, What else is there?
The words. Yes, okay.
Don't know how they actually work, but no. So,
the words.
I just make it old ways and then go, look, you can just squeeze it into your 9x16 TikTok. No, I joke. No, so but that's part of the job. We have to keep up with what everyone is doing, and obviously, we do that for our community channel and things like that. So it's been good 15 years. It's been it's changed. Like when I started, it was all tape. We were filming on tape. We were digitizing and then cutting stuff and then putting it back onto tape and sending it to to press outlets. Here's the Sonic Unleashed. What would be the first one? A game from a long time ago. I can't think of what.
2008. Yes.
Yeah. So
Sonic
maybe Unleashed.
Probably.
I think that was the first one I did. I'll say that. And Mad World, I think, was the first one I ever did. But we'll get back to that one. Sonic Unleashed. So we would then send that to all the press outlets and stuff like that. But now, obviously, fast forward to today, we haven't used the tape for years. Everything's shot on. It's the same for as we record everything digitally, edit digitally, send everything out digitally. It's a different world, but it's brilliant.
And it's easier, right?
Completely. It's
much easier.
It's going to from tape to digital, you can just do so many different things. It's brilliant. Yeah, that makes me sound so old.
No, but it's interesting. It's interesting because I remember tape. You're probably not that much older than I am. So probably some people listening to this are like, tape? What's
tape?
that?
What the hell's tape? Yeah.
But I do remember that as well. And it's nice how in the span of like 15, 20 years, things have changed so many times as well. How many sort of formats have we used in physical media and now digital media? It's crazy.
Yeah, Blu-rays. I remember we got a Blu-ray writer. It was like a spaceship, it was like something from the future. And now we've got this tower where you can copy like 20, like 20 Blu-rays. It's got dust on it, hasn't been used for like 5-6 years. We haven't recorded one Blu-ray for, but I can remember it coming in and it's like, oh, you can get 25 gigs on this thing. It's huge. Yeah, don't do it anymore. Yeah. It's very sad.
But it's crazy because things have evolved very quickly. And it's mind-blowing when you think about it, especially when you start getting older and you look back and I remember this. I remember being a kid and seeing that thing. And now, where is it? The only thing that even survived is vinyl because it's coming back, I think. It's making a big comeback. But apart from that,
I think that will happen. I think that will happen with boxed video games as well. I know we still do boxed video games, but I think there'll come a point when we won't. And I reckon for like 10 years, and then all of a sudden people will go, oh, I want it all back on boxed. But that's just my crazy thought.
I don't think it'll ever go away. I
hope not.
I mean, it would make sense that it could go away because it's easier for game companies and for even the process of having a digital store is easier. But the thing, the preservation of video games and that like being able to play a game that you don't have physically.
Yeah.
Is hard.
Yeah.
Right. If e-stores or e-shops are closing, like the 3DS e-shop is closing, and and if the only way you could get that game was digitally, how can you play it again in the future unless they re-release it? And sometimes that's not a possibility at all. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. The more I think about it, they can't surely.
But financially makes sense.
Yeah, and from an environmental, the carbon footprint of making a game, I don't even know what it is, but I imagine it's ginormous.
Probably.
Because, but then the flip side of that is then you have to have all these servers running all the time and things and what have you. So who knows? As a much smarter person than me will tell us the exact what's more environmentally friendly.
Yes.
But I'm sure one day we'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay. So from all these years working for Sega, do you have can you pinpoint some key moments, like some highlights of those times? Like, I don't know, the ones that you look back and think, oh, that was amazing. Yeah, this was so fun to do.
Yeah, there's so many, and that sounds so cliched, and I hate being one of these people. Oh, it's so wonderful working at Sega, but I personally, and I get that other people have different experiences working wherever you are. No one's going to enjoy it in the same way you do. I worked in the docks driving cars off of a boat, which was good at the time, but there was people there that were 60 and kept saying to me, because I'd come straight out of university, you've got a brain. Make sure you use your, what they said, talent. They again, I refer to the kingdom of the blind. Back then, when I was the one-eyed man, because none of them had gone to university. So they were saying, go and do things, and they were right. But so I've always appreciated every job I've been in since, because I did work in what was a very hard job, very manually, and tiring. So I remember like I said earlier, I only wanted to be at Sega for a couple of months. I'd set the video team up, and then I was freelancing. I'd go and do other TV work. I just started working on a sport channel doing highlight packages. I was really enjoying that, and I thought, well, once this Sega thing finishes, I'll go back and do that. But from day one, something interesting would come in. Like I was saying early on, we were just changing names and things like that, but it was really exciting working out how to do that. Like, it was finding ways that we could, because not everyone gave us like an After Effects project and here I'll go and this is how we made the things. You can now do it. We'd have to find ways to make it look like it often and things like that. So that was good. But I think I remember, my children being, I was at a school gate picking up my kids, and two kids came up to me and said, "Is it true you work with Sonic the Hedgehog?" And I honestly, it really hit me for six. Like I didn't think of it like that, but to them, it was the coolest job. And then they asked me 1,000 questions. Like, oh, where does he sleep? Where, where when does he stay there? Does he ever come to your house? And it was so lovely. And that I suddenly thought, you know what? I'm not going to get that in. I'm sure there are other jobs, but for me, in any other job, because it was so iconic. And to me, that moment then was like, do you know what? I love this company. It was so random that it would be that, because I've done like going to my first E3 with Sega was brilliant. Gamescom, doing things like that. I've been so fortunate. I've traveled all over the world with Sega. I've been really lucky as a cameraman. We get sent to all our devs. I've been to every studio we've got. I've been to Tokyo many times. I've been to LA lots of times. But it really was that one moment, those kids coming up and going and then asking me 1,000 questions. And I could see my boy being so excited that, I told you he knew Sonic, it was really lovely. And I think, again, silly, a little silly thing, but that really was. No. That was a tempo that was like, do you know what? Actually, this is in a bad company. And again, I'd like to say that about Sega is I've never known a company. And again, this sounds crass because I feel bad because we have laid people off in the past, and that does happen and that's natural. But they really do look after the staff, and I think. And even the people that, unfortunately, when projects change and the needs of having different people shrunk or expand, they always look after people when they finish their contracts. It's all, it is a brilliant company to work for. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. Sorry, I keep going on about how good it is. I'm sounding one of them idiots that I hate when I go, oh, I love working for Disney. Disney is the best. That's what it sounds like. But that is, again, that's what it's like.
That's a brilliant Mickey Mouse impersonation. Yeah, it's
he could almost be in the room, couldn't he? You were like, oh my God, Mickey Mouse is running.
Chills. But that's a brilliant answer, I think. Yeah, that's amazing. I get it. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Would you say were you that familiar with Sega before you worked there? Or
I've had a Mega Drive. My mate had a Master System. But I played a lot on his. But then I got my own Mega Drive, and and even on my Commodore 64. From the Sega arcade days, like I can remember buying Outrun on the Commodore 64 and being so excited because it was a Sega game, and it was like, oh my God, the arcade cabinet has been shrunk into my Commodore 64. It wasn't the greatest version, but I did it at the time. I thought it was mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing, because it came. I'm going to digress again. Sorry, I go off all on these different tangents, but that game, the Outrun version on the Commodore 64 came with the sound tape.
Came with the tape? Yes.
And I played that tape to an inch of its life. All the time. I played it all the time. And loved it. Absolutely loved it. but yeah, looking back, it's not the greatest port of Outrun, but it's
But the tape itself, was
made
worth
up for
it.
it
Just for the tape.
completely.
Yeah, just for the tape, it was worth it.
So I knew Sega. I was very familiar with Sega throughout and again, I can remember being I was probably about, I don't know how much I would have been, probably about 18-year-old, cynical, and then I saw Sonic the Hedgehog for the first time, and again, it sounds like I'm bigging up Sonic, but I can remember being like, "Oh my god, how fast is that?" It was just, And so I've always known Sega. I was just Sega titles and things like that.
Excellent.
And I tell people at work. Here we go again, talking about how wonderful Sega is. But I always say, if you were to ask a room of 100 adults that are maybe, I'd say 50 plus, I reckon 70 of them will know who Sega are. You can't say that about other video games companies. It is an iconic. It's like, I would say Atari, Sega, and Nintendo. And future generations would say Sony, but I don't always think that your older generation would know that. I
probably.
So I always think, we're so lucky. It's one of the, the iconic
and it's
things.
A little bit like the brand Sony and the brand PlayStation.
Yeah.
For many people, they're not synonymous.
No.
So I think for us that know that PlayStation is a Sony brand,
you're right.
Right?
They'll think it's a TV or something.
Yeah, but it's Sega, right? Even maybe people don't know the Mega Drive or the Dreamcast or whatever, but they know Sega and they know Sonic, perhaps.
Yeah,
right? Nintendo as well as a brand.
Definitely. Yeah, I've been in many meetings about how we sell the company, and I'm like, honestly, just put the Sega logo front and center and it sells itself. I know, again, that's really crash and cheap way of saying it, but like, I always think, like, when you have these big like trade shows, for example, like Gamescom, I think just stick a massive Sega wraparound logo and people will just come anyway. They will come to the stand because it's got Sega written right around. It doesn't matter. Like, all the titles are amazing. I'm going to say that anyway. Obviously, they're underneath. All our games are amazing, but you could, they hide beautifully in this Sega umbrella. So we should definitely make more of our branding, I always think.
I agree. I do agree. Yeah. Okay. So from all these years working for the company, was there anything like one title or a game? I don't know how much time you have or, mindset to play games after work or anything, but is there any game or series you got into after starting working for Sega?
Well, so I always played Football Manager because I loved Football Manager. So that was an easy one. And I can remember the day that I started, the guy who, the brand director of Football Manager said to me, "Oh, are you a Football Manager fan?" And I was like, "Yeah, I love it." And he went, "Oh God, that's another sale we've lost," because obviously I'd get a free copy. So that always made me laugh. But again, I'm going on about, this is now making me about one of those sad dads who go, "Oh, it was such a wonderful moment." But Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing Transformed I would say is one of the greatest games ever made, and I will die on that hill. And not just because, I'm going to give you 2 points, because I work for Sega, and I should say that. But for me, it was the first game that me and my kids. I've got two little boys. Well, they're not little anymore. They're 15 and 13, but they were tiny when it came out, and we played it to death. The three of us trying to work our way through the levels. And obviously they were young and they couldn't always do it, but they would go, "Oh, Dad, do that." So we played that for weeks and weeks to unlock everything. And I could it's one of my fondest, not only as a gaming memory, but as a life memory. And again, that's cliched because my children, I love doing this for my children. But it really was. It was such an amazing experience. So that, to me, I will batter anyone that says it's not the greatest game ever made. I will literally, when everyone says, "Oh, what's your favourite game?" If people that is the greatest game ever made. Sonic Racing Transformed.
Okay.
It blows my mind. I could play it in fact, talking about it now to you, I now know that when I finish, I'm going to have to play it because I love that feeling of flipping over and then flying once you've gone off the air. Oh, just the mechanics is so good.
I was playing it the other day on my Steam Deck, and it's brilliant. It's still brilliant. I think we need a new one, by the way. We really need.
Yeah, I'd love it if we did.
Definitely,
it's such a great game.
Such a love letter to Sega as well, and with so much fan service involved.
It's just so beautiful. Everything about it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I like people go to me, oh, it's not as good as Mario Kart. I batter people that say that. I say Mario Kart, and then everyone go, oh, Mario Kart was around ages. Mario Kart looked at Sonic Racing Transformed and then went, we've got to put in gliding and water stuff and all that because that is so good. I think it's the highest form of flattery. They were like, yeah, don't get me wrong, I do like Mario Kart, but it isn't as good as Sonic Racing Transformed.
It's Sega, so it's different.
Exactly.
It's like it's more of a kid's game, Mario Kart. I say that as a fan, but it's Sega All Stars Racing Transformed is.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like
the afterburner level. The design of that course is just going around the hangar. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It's genius. Absolutely. I could go on about every course. They're all brilliant. In fact, that's another sign of it. I always think that when sometimes you play a game and a course comes up and you're like, oh, I don't want to race on here really, but it's part of the thing. Everyone that comes up, you're like, oh, this is good. Oh, I love this. Yeah, I haven't played this. Oh, yeah, love it. So good.
I know what I'm playing after we're done here.
So everyone, go out and buy Sonic Racing Transformed, buy a Steam Deck and install it on your Steam Deck, which is what I think I'm going to do now. You've convinced me. Do you know what? I've not thought of that. How good would that be?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Definitely recommended.
I'm going to buy a Steam Deck just because you've said that. I think that's a great way. I can't wait to play it on there.
So Valve.
Yeah.
Send that money my way.
Yes. You're on commission.
Commission. Yeah. Okay. Tired of hearing the same old songs over and over on the radio? Now, from the twisted mind behind Suka Pass and Shenmue World comes a new compilation of Shenmue poetry.
Now, that's what I call Jim's Poetry Corner 2023.
A compilation of skilled Jim's absolute best poems as previously heard on the Shenmue Dojo show, plus brand new vocal gems.
Now, that's what I call Jim's Poetry Corner 2023.
Get this album now and you can hear classics like Fresh Princess of Bailu.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I tell you how I became the child of a stonemasonaire.
The shivering rhymes of Killer.
'Cause it's a killer, here to fight, and no one's gonna save you from the dragon about to strike you. Wow's killer. On this night, he's fighting for his life against a killer tonight.
The bangin' club track For Voodoo Changed My Life.
The For Voodoo changed my life. My life. Oh yeah. The voodoo changed my life. 'Cause the For Voodoo changed my life. My life. Oh yeah. The voodoo changed my life. Life.
The catchy piano classic, Yuanda Zoo.
If I could find Yuanda Zoo, do you think I'd find Landy too? 'Cause you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just see Zoo tonight.
Timeless pop anthem, Bailu.
It's Bailu, Bailu, gotta get down a Bailu. Everybody's looking for the Phoenix mirror, mirror. Bailu, Bailu, getting down a Bailu. Everybody's looking for the Phoenix mirror. Landy is, yeah. Landy is, yeah. Come, coming for the Phoenix mirrors.
And even social commentary all up on ya with Guilin Paradise.
Been spending most my life living in a Guilin paradise. I lift flowers with my mind, living in a Guilin paradise. We eat garlic all the time, living in a Guilin paradise.
You can order this brand new 11-track long album now for just 5 jars of Innocence Tears by setting up the following Chowan sign at your local tea shop and waiting. First cup up, second cup still, third cup down, fourth cup still.
Now, that's what I call Jim's Poetry Corner 2023.
That's 11 beautifully written compositions with some words added to them for mere 5 jars of Innocence Tears.
Now, that's what I call Jim's Poetry Corner 2023.
Mixon Productions does not condone cheesy poetry in any way, shape, or form. If you or somebody you know becomes addicted to these poor taste parodies, please see your doctor or local Chi-Yu-Men representative. Now seriously, this is a real album you can get from skilljim.bandcamp.com. Elliot,
Yes.
it's time to do something I love and my guests hate.
Oh, that sounds perfect. So I could just go, oh, so I've got to go now.
No, not yet. It's time for the Sega Lounge Challenge.
Now that you know our guests, it's time to put them to the test. It's the moment we've waited for and the moment they dread.
Welcome to your doom.
I mean, welcome to the Sega Lounge Challenge.
Let me say I am dreadful at things like this because I love Sega and everything about Sega, but my memory is appalling.
I have a feeling somehow from our conversation that you're going to do. I won't say great because this is hard, but
Yeah, and you're going to play
a decent job.
You'll play some track or you'll ask me a question about Sonic Racing Transform and I will get it wrong and I will look an absolute idiot. But I'm doing that for comedy effect. If anyone's listening, anything I get wrong is for comedy effect only. I know the answers really.
So we're gonna play the Ultimate Sega Fan Challenge.
Right.
The way this works is I have 10 questions. Not all of them are questions. Some are like bits of songs.
Right. I'm going to get a
there.
zero.
We'll see. Well, they're easy. But the thing is, on the questions, you can choose between an easy or a hard question. Okay?
Right.
You can get up to 20 points in this challenge. No one ever did.
Never get 20.
Who knows?
I know I won't.
If you choose an easy question and you give me a correct answer, you get 1 point. If you choose a hard question, 2 points for a correct answer.
Do
Okay,
I know
so
the
it's up to
category
you.
before each question?
Not really. It
Okay.
can be anything. It can be anything. It's just up to you if you choose an easy or a hard question.
I'm going to go hard because that then other people might not know it. If I do easy and I get it wrong, that's embarrassing. If I say hard, can't go wrong.
I can't tell you how many times people have used that, same
and
reasoning and
doesn't
failed.
work.
But okay.
I'll tell
Let's
you
go
what, I'll tell you-
hard.
No, let's start easy. Let's get one on the board before we go up hard. That's a better one. Let's get points on the board.
That's a good idea as well.
Points on the board.
Maybe. Okay, let's start with an easy one. I think this is an easy one. Okay,
Oh,
I have a
it'll be
list
hard.
of so many questions. Let's do this one. So, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, gosh.
You're familiar with the character, right?
Never heard of him.
What was the name given to several prototypes of Sonic the Hedgehog by his designer Naoto Oshima
God.
before he was known as Sonic the Hedgehog?
And this is the easy question, yeah? Good
I
grief.
mean-
It is
I
easy, isn't it?
mean-
Have I got time? You can't see me typing into Google.
No.
Oh, God.
I'll give you a hint. It's
I'll still get it wrong.
Mr. Something. Before
Mr. Red
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Shoes, Mr. Go Fast. Oh, I'm embarrassing myself. I'm terrible.
Naoto Oshima designed Sonic, like
Yeah.
the sketch of
and he
what
looked,
Sonic would become, right?
He looked a bit more angry.
And he called him something like for the prototypes, and then someone came up with Sonic the Hedgehog. So,
Mr. Hedgehog? No. Oh. Mr. Armadillo?
you tell me. I'll keep going.
I'm just going Hedgehog.
It's just one. So
Yeah.
So
I'm going Mr. Hedgehog.
Mr. Hedgehog.
It's boring, but that's the best.
Is that your final answer?
I'm not going to phone a friend. I'm not going to ask the audience. I'm going to lock it in.
Elliot, your answer is
incorrect.
Incorrect, unfortunately. But it's close. It's Mr. Needlemouse.
Oh, I knew that.
Mr. Needlemouse. You knew that. I know you knew that. I know.
Oh,
I know.
God.
I said it was easy. I said it was easy.
Oh my God. But that's it. I can't remember these things. And then you tell me, and it's like, oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
No worries. Okay. We're going to get
I'm going to get zero.
Some points. No. Look, the next one is going to be easy. It's the first song. I have a 10-second long clip of an iconic Sega track. You just need to give me the game or the level or where it plays. If you give me the game, you get 1 point.
Yeah.
If you give me where it plays or the name of the stage or something that convinces me that you know what you're talking about, I'll give you another point.
Right.
So you can get 2 points for this. And it's an easy track, I'm sure.
Oh.
Ready?
I'm ready. I'll pretend I can't hear it if it's too hard.
Let's give it a play.
It sounded like Mickey's Castle of Illusion, but it's not, so I'm not going to say that. My first gut instinct is a Sonic level, but I can't remember which one it is. But and then I thought it's Comic Zone, and it's not Comic Zone. Oh, I do know it. That's going to bug me.
What does it sound like?
Well, it sounds Arabian to me, and but it's got to be a Sonic one, hasn't it? And I can't work out what it is. I'm going to say it's from Sonic. It's from the second Sonic and Tails, but I can't remember what level it is.
From the second one, so the Mega Drive one? So Sonic 2?
Yeah, you nodding is putting me off because I think I'm here. I'm right. I'm almost right. And you're going to tell me that it's Mickey's Castle of Illusion, and I'm going to be annoyed.
I'm
stone-faced. Ah, no clues.
You're getting nothing from me.
You should be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You're just like, I'm trying to read you for the answers, but no. I'm going Sonic and Tails, sort of second one. Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Okay. Yeah. And in which part of the game would it play?
It's on a bonus level when they're going down the hoop thing, the half pipe, but I can't remember what. Again, I'm not even in the right game, am I? You're just humouring me here. That's what I'm going with. It's when they're going down the half pipe collecting rings.
Could be.
It could well be, but it's not. That's my final answer. I'm locking
answer. Sonic 2, the special stage, collecting rings the Chaos Emerald.
Special stage, yes.
Special stage.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's not.
There's a surprise.
But it is Sonic 2, so you get 1 point.
Get in. That's all right. I don't feel so bad now.
Oil Ocean Zone. Yes, Oil Ocean.
Dear,
okay, 1 point. Good job.
That's a whole point more than I thought I'd get.
It's usually the hardest one. The first point is the hardest one to get.
And now they'll flow in, I'm sure.
I'm sure. So it's time for the next question. So hard or easy?
Well, I'm going to have to go easy because I can't
Easy.
even cope with easy, let alone hard.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do this one. What is the name of the duo of extraterrestrial rappers who end up crash landing on Earth and going in search of their ship's missing pieces? A duo of extraterrestrial
Jam and Earl.
rappers.
I ain't got a clue.
So you say
Toe Jam and Earl.
Toe Jam and Earl are extraterrestrial rappers.
They could be seen as that. I think that, they often looked upon like that. They're not, I know, but I've got nothing to offer. I've got nothing. I'm going to say Michael Jackson, but we've gone completely off of that one. So
it's just one person, so wouldn't work.
It's not Chris Cross used to be on the Mega CD. I remember that. But again, that's the only rappers I can think of. But I believe Chris Cross were from Earth, so that sort of rules that out. So yes,
So Toe Jam and Earl.
I'm going to say Toe Jam and Earl because last time I was on a podcast, a live stream. I use that for every answer until I got it one right.
Oh, that's true. That's right. Yeah.
So it's the only way. If I go with Toe Jam and Earl one day, I'll be right.
Yes.
But today isn't that day, I bet. But I'm going with them.
Elliot, Toe Jam and Earl
is
correct. 1 point. Well done. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only characters I know. They're the only two I know. Yes.
Very good. Good job. Good job.
You nearly took me out of that one.
I didn't. I said nothing. Just believe in yourself.
Gotta believe. I gotta do
gotta
what?
believe.
I gotta believe.
Yes. Gotta believe. Like Ted Lasso.
Believe.
Okay. Anyway, second song. Ready?
Yep.
No, you're not.
No.
Let's play it.
Well,
I mean, this wasn't fixed or set up or anything.
I sang this earlier. And it's obviously from Outrun, but is it Magical Splash, or I can never remember what's the name of it because I'm dreadful at things. I'm almost tempted. I have to look it up because that is cheating, because I cannot get that right.
So you're saying you were saying something. It's
the Magical Sound. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, you said something just now that is probably correct. Magical what now?
Magical Sound Shower.
That's correct.
Yes!
Okay, very good. Magical Sound Shower from Outrun, 2 points.
Yes!
That's 4.
I'm rocking.
That's amazing.
I can't tell you how amazing. Anyone who knows me thinks that's phenomenal because my knowledge of Sega, while I love it, is appalling. Ask me what the first arcade cabinet Sega made was, and then I'll get that right. That's quite a hard question.
Oh, I don't even know that. What
Periscope.
Is
Periscope.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There you go.
Not by heart. No.
There you go.
That's a good question for a future challenge. Okay. So next up, another question: easy or hard?
Well, I've got to go hard. Come on.
I think it's time.
Yeah,
I think it's
time
time.
to up.
Yes.
Let's kick up things up a level.
Okay. This is a new one. This is a new one for this season.
Oh.
Okay. In the promotional material for which game did Sega claim that RPG has changed? Think about it. Think about it.
Well, I mean, the obvious answer is like one of the Total Wars, or no, it wouldn't be Total War because that's.
So this is a big claim, right? So RPG has changed.
Yeah, it was on. It's not the one with the whip select on console, and I can't remember the name of the game because I made a promotional material about how. Oh, flip! What was it called? Oh, I can't think what it's called. No, that's going to
What
bug
are
me.
you thinking about? What kind of?
It was a
game?
console.
Obviously,
It was on console, and it was the first time it was
Okay.
on console, and
Okay.
it was. I can't remember. I just remember. I personally found it really hard to control, and we had to make a video about how to make this new control thing. And I can't remember the name of the game. Oh, it's like set in the future. Oh, I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. That's. I should know that, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have to just say something. I'll go with.
Yeah.
I'll go with Dawn of War. Just why not? Because that's the only one I could think of.
Dawn of War. Why not?
Yeah, that's my.
RPG has changed. Why not? Because why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dawn of War.
That's
is your
the
answer.
best I've come up with.
You'll be surprised to know
It's not Dawn of War.
that it's not Dawn of War. But you'll also be surprised to know that it's not anything close to whatever you're thinking of.
Oh, right.
It's Shenmue.
Oh, really?
Shenmue. RPG has changed.
Makes sense.
Yes, it's Shenmue. And
Do you know
for
what?
people
I didn't
listening
even
to this,
think of that.
it makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because I'm a big Shenmue fan, so there's always something Shenmue in my shows, anything at some point.
Oh,
So yeah,
I can't believe I didn't even think of Shenmue.
yeah.
That was
Okay.
good. So briefly going back to Sonic Racing Transformed, seeing him in the forklift truck is amazing. You can carry on with your questions.
Agreed. And the outrun machine
Yes.
as well. The
Yeah,
outrun
yeah.
cabinet.
Yeah.
Driving
Of
the outrun
course,
cabinet.
Of course, yeah.
It's amazing. I was just playing as Ryo Hazuki in Transform the other day. So yeah,
It's very good. Sorry, I digress.
Very good. No.
Mhm.
You're more than welcome to talk about Shenmue anytime. Okay, next song number 3. Ready?
I'm ready.
Ooh.
Get ready for the fantasy zone.
Okay.
Well, I think it starts with "Get ready for the fantasy zone," right at the beginning, and I think it's called Space Harrier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it. I know it is because it's my favourite song. And another going about my children. My oldest plays it on the piano because he knows how much I love that song.
That's
so
nice.
there you go. So yes,
Okay.
I'm locking that in.
It's Space Harrier, and it plays, or what song it is, or
Oh, I didn't know it had a name. I only know it's a Space Harrier theme.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a Space Harrier
it's a
theme.
theme.
And it
Theme,
starts
okay.
with "Get ready for the fantasy zone. Get ready."
Close enough.
Something
yes.
like that.
Yes.
So that's my final answer. Locking that in.
Welcome to the fantasy zone.
Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready. Yeah.
Exactly.
I never worry about details. I just get roughly.
2 points. Well done. Very good. The main theme of Space Harrier. Good job.
It's such a great song.
It's-
I absolutely love that.
it
And
is.
here's a little behind the scenes Sega fact for you that no one else will know unless you worked at Sega. During lockdown, we had a monthly update that was done online because obviously no one could go in the office. So I used to broadcast from my house. Like I would mix in the desk and do all that. But I would end the show every time with that song. I'd play the 8-bit version of that song. When it said thanks for watching, that was on the end screen.
Okay.
There you go.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
how I know it very well as well.
Excellent. I actually thought of playing an 8-bit version or something, but I thought, let's keep it simple. But apparently, I didn't need to do that.
I'd have had it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so 6 points. Ooh, we're getting there. Can we get 10?
I doubt it very much.
10 is amazing for anyone.
My only worry is now you've exhausted all my Sega knowledge. I knew Outrun, I knew Space Harrier, and unless every other question is Sonic Racing Transform related and not too deep, because I don't go too deep into the lore of it, then we're all right.
Okay. So, easy or hard?
Come on, let's go hard. I'm hard now.
Hard.
Hardcore. Bring it on.
Hardcore. Okay.
Oh no,
No. I'm laughing because I'm looking at one that's a classic. So, but let's not do this. Okay. Released only in Europe, Sega Game Pack 4-in-1 is a compilation of 4 games for the Game Gear. Included in this compilation was a simple tennis game. Who was the umpire in this game?
Well, I would say it's got to be Sonic, but it can't be anyone else. There's no one else it would be. It would have, or it could be Alex Kidd, actually. Yeah, it's got to be Alex Kidd. It's Alex Kidd. No, it's not. It's not Alex Kidd. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. It's got to be Sonic the Hedgehog. And I digress again. Alex Kidd should be Sega's mascot. I still can't understand why he's not our mascot still. I love Alex Kidd, but that's another story. And sorry, Sonic, if you're listening, I love you as well, but I love Alex Kidd.
So it's like those kids when your child was in school, like, oh, do you work with Alex Kidd?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, he's my best mate.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's the same.
Do you know that game only released in Japan that in which Alex Kidd complains about being like, so that's it. So Sega, shame on you.
Yeah,
shame on you.
You've let us down.
We love you though.
We love you, Alex Kidd. We love you.
So who was the
I'm
umpire?
going with. It can only be Sonic, can't it? Game Gear, it has to be, because in those days they were sticking him in everything just because it's funny. Because he was in what's the driving game? It's gone out of my mind. Oh my god, how's that? It's one of my favourite games. When he's in the concrete and then he's hanging from the dashboard.
Oh, Daytona USA.
Yes. God, Daytona. Yeah, so I'm going with Sonic the Hedgehog. I've locked that in. That's my final answer. It's too easy. It's too obvious to be a hard question, though. I should have said Alex Kidd.
Is it?
If it's Alex Kidd, I'm going to kill myself.
I don't think anyone's ever gotten this question right.
It's not Sonic the Hedgehog, then.
To be honest. It is Sonic the Hedgehog. 2 points. No one ever thinks of Sonic, I think.
Everyone overthinks it. That's what I was doing.
Yes.
I was like, it's too obvious.
Yes.
But Sonic was shoehorned into every game, regardless, in those days.
Okay, so 8 points. Yeah. We're only 2 away from 10. This is amazing. And it's time for our final song.
Right.
Okay, so now I'll give you 2 choices. I can either play the song in reverse, so reversed, and see if you get it. And I'll give you an extra point, and you only need the game.
Yeah.
And I'll give you 2 points. Or I'll play you the song
you can play
not in reverse, and it's the same as before. You need 2.
Yeah.
If you want 2 points, you need the game and where it plays.
Play it backwards. I've got it backwards. I like the idea.
Something like that.
I'll
actually,
just try and
very close to what I have here.
I'll change it round in my mind.
Let's do it.
It's from Crazy Taxi, but I can't remember the name of the song. I'm going to say Crazy Taxi because you only said say again. Crazy Taxi. It's got to be Crazy Taxi. Come on. It's got to be. I can't.
It's got to be.
There's nothing else it can be. It's too modern and rocky. Oh, but then it could be a Sonic track. But no, we've had too many Sonic questions. I'm going, it's Crazy Taxi. Lock it in.
Lock it in?
Lock it in. Sure? Lock it in.
For 2 points.
You should play it forward first, so I'll go, I was right.
Okay, let's do it. So it's locked.
Yeah, it's locked in. I'm not going to change it.
We cannot change it now. Let's play it.
And it'll annoy me that I'll be like, oh, sugar, it's not.
Let's do it.
Oh.
The face palm is real. It's
I
Sonic
knew,
Adventure 2.
I knew it was Sonic Adventure. Why didn't I say that?
Because you were overthinking it.
Because I know that's why I recognised the woman singing.
Okay. So,
Oh,
2 questions left.
right.
This next one, you can still choose between an easy and a hard one. The last question is always hard, so...
All right. I'm going to have easy then. Let's have one easy. And then
okay.
Let's get near there.
Easy for 9 points. Let's see. Oh, this is too easy.
Yeah, but you say that, and I'll make it
Let's
look
go
hard.
with this one. What milestone anniversary did Sega celebrate in 2020 with a campaign titled Go Sega?
Well,
this is shameful.
I'm going to answer that one and tell you a little story. I was supposed to go around the world filming at different events for this.
But COVID.
But COVID stopped it. I was going to San Diego Comic Con. I was going to Japan. I was going to LA because we were going to do events at all these places to promote Sega's 60th anniversary. And yeah, so you can lock that in and give me 9 points.
Okay.
60th anniversary. Come on.
I will. Oh, come on. Get in. Amazing. That would have been awesome.
Oh, it would have been amazing. We had we were doing, it was going to be like a pop-up thing where people could come and play all our games and things like that. It was going to be brilliant. But we had fun making stuff. We did it all online and we did lots of content.
Yeah,
for it.
It
so
was fun.
Good
It was
fun.
Yeah.
But it would have been amazing. So look out for the 75th because that would be amazing.
Really? 75th?
Well, maybe we'll do 70 actually. We'll probably do 70. Yeah.
65th? No?
Oh, yeah, it could do, I suppose.
That could be.
It's quite a big milestone, isn't it? I'll have to wait and see, yeah.
65 years, okay.
Yeah. 100. Now, you wait for the 100. That'll be the...
Yes.
That'll be my retirement party. Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Okay. Last final question.
Elliot, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I was born
It's a hard
ready.
one.
Give it.
Were
Bring
you
it.
now?
Bring
Were
it
you
on.
now?
Bring it on.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to read your face whether it's hard, easy, or not, and whether it's
hard. It's hard.
Incredibly hard.
I'm looking at a long list of questions. Let's go with this one. It's hard, but it's got choices. So it's a multiple choice question. Okay, just for you.
Oh, that's even better.
In stage 4 of Streets of Rage 2.
Ooh. Do you like a bit of Streets of Rage 2?
The baseball stadium, so stage 4. Which of the following options is a sentence that you can see in the background?
Right.
Okay. Baseball stadium, Streets of Rage 2. Option A. It's like Boo. Option B. Dodgers forever. Option C. Play ball.
Now, I want it to be Dodgers forever because I am a Dodgers fan and I love the Dodgers. But it's not that because I would have seen that before and gone, oh, look, it's the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to rule that out. Mm-hmm. The first one
was like, it's like Boo.
It's like Boo.
And the third one was Play ball.
I think it's Play ball. But that again, I'm overthinking things. My gut instinct is Play ball. I'm going to... Is it the first one? I'm going this Play ball. It's Play ball. C.
While you're thinking, a fun fact. There's another one that's do ! Baseball ! That's another one.
That's another one. What was the first one again?
No, this one is really in the game. Do baseball is
in the game. So what was choice A?
It's like Boo. And Play ball is
it's got to be Play ball, hasn't it? It's got to be. Like my gut feeling, I've always said if I'm in a high pressured win £1 million question and I don't know, I'll go with what my gut said straight away. Don't overthink it. Option C. Lock it in. Give me the 2 points, please. Please.
Give you the 2 points, please.
If I ask nicely, we might add them on.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, me. We need some tension. You need a tension bed to play now.
Yes. Elliot.
Yes.
Elliot.
I had
Your
9 points.
answer is you had 9 points. You can get 11 points, or you just
Get 9.
keep your 9 points, which
That's
is
safe. I'm not losing
it's a
them.
respectable score, I have to say.
I'll take that because I thought I was
Very
going to get
respectable.
1. So
Your answer, your final score is 9. It's like boo.
No, that's
it's
too
like
obvious.
boo.
It's too obvious to be that.
What's that? What
That
does
doesn't make
that
no
even mean?
sense. That's what I
it's
thought.
like boo. But that's why it's there, I think.
Because it
It's
makes
like
no
boo.
sense.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go and complain to somebody now. It's outrageous.
Yes, probably a good idea.
But
Not
I
me,
prefer
but
Go Dodgers.
do
Go
that.
Dodgers would have been good.
Go Dodgers. No, Dodgers forever.
Dodgers forever.
Yeah.
That would have been much better.
Yeah, that's the one.
They
That's
missed
the
out
one.
there.
Okay.
That's what we needed. What a game, though! What a game!
Good job. What a game, and what a challenge. 9 points.
What can I say? I thought I was going to get 1 at max. I thought you might throw me something simple that would just save my blushes. So
I think the needle mouse one. I think you could have.
I'll be lying in bed tonight being annoyed about
that.
We made a documentary about the making of Sonic, and we had shots of all the artwork that was filmed and stuff like that. And I can remember it as clear as day now. And it's like, oh, why didn't I?
Excellent.
Because all that sticks in my mind is Sonic and the sort of Madonna model. I was like,
his girlfriend.
Sonic, how very dare you? That's not for the kids.
Awesome.
Yes.
Brilliant. But 9 points. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
thank you for being a good sport and playing the game.
Thank you for letting me play. I enjoyed every
very
minute.
Good. Excellent. So before I let you go, a couple of questions.
Yeah.
First of all, anything we can look forward to in the coming weeks, months from the video team at Sega?
Yeah, we've done some nice TikTok stuff that's coming out in the next week. I can't really tell you yet what it is. It's just because I can't actually remember the title it's from. No, we've done some. We went to Berlin the other day for Ishin, and that was amazing. So we've got some stuff coming out for that. So watch our social channels for that. It's going to be good. That is a great game as well. If you've not played it, yeah,
it is.
It is really good.
Highly recommended.
Yeah, I love it.
So glad that we got it in the West.
Yeah,
finally.
Yeah. It's about time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Excellent.
good. So people buy it. If you buy it, then more games will come from there. Because if people don't buy it, then more won't come. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I think people understand that now.
Yeah.
I think they understand that now. And I think RGG Studio also understand that.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
people want more, in the West. Yeah. So
yeah. Don't you worry. I think they know. They know.
Okay. And my final question is, it's always the same. Are you familiar with the concept of blast processing?
I am, yes.
Yeah. So in the 90s, especially in America, the Genesis was supposed to have blast processing. So if you could add blast processing to anything in the world, what would it be and why?
Oh my God. What an amazing question to end on. I mean, if you're a real nice person, you've got to do something about, blast processing so that everyone could be fed in the world and all this sort of stuff. And, or stop wars. It would be enough to stop wars. But I'm going to use it
for evil.
Yeah, close to evil. I'm going to use it to make me young again. I want to be 20 again. And the youth is wasted on the young. I remember somebody telling me that when I was young, and I was like, you're an old idiot, shut up. Now I've become that old idiot. I would love to be able to not start again, because I've done amazing things. I wouldn't change anything, but I'd like to be 20 because...
So, like, have the same life you have now, but
be
in a 20-year-old body?
So basically, because all it comes from is I played football just before Christmas, and my body has only just recovered. I played football every day of my life when I was younger. I stopped about 3 years ago because my knees were going, and I was like, we'll play one more game because it's Christmas. We've got all my friends around. We'll have a game. Oh my God, I couldn't walk for 2 days. Literally could not walk. I had to crawl upstairs on my front. So I'd like to be 20 so that wouldn't happen again.
Okay.
But world peace, feed everyone else, be nice, do wonderful things, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Yes.
World, save the world. But yeah.
Yeah, all that boring stuff. Yes.
Secretly, it would be me. If there's you have to drink from this jug to make you young again, I'd be, sorry, world peace. Sorry, famine. You're going to have to sort yourselves out. Let's have a chug of that. Oh, I feel youthful already.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice. Elliot, thank you very much. That was a brilliant answer, and you've been a brilliant guest, as I expected.
You were a brilliant host, so it's very kind, and it was a joy to be on here. It was a joy.
Thank you very much, and hopefully people will follow the social channels of Sega and see more from you as well. Yes. And every time you show up on camera, it's always a joy to watch as well.
Oh, I just watched kind.
I watched the what was it? The Amplitude Studio, right? The stream the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was not my finest moment, but I did enjoy it. Yeah, you should go and watch it, everyone. Go and watch the Amplitude stream. It's good. Yeah. It's well worth watching. Yeah. Just don't watch a bit with me in.
No, please do. Okay, thank you very much, Elliot. Nice. Thank you again, and hopefully we can chat more in the future.
Don't be a stranger. I'm a long-time listener of the pod, so don't be a stranger. Lovely to meet you.
Everyone, go follow Elliot on Twitter.
And everybody, download this episode, but also go and listen to other episodes of the Sega Lounge, because it's a treat for your ears, the Sega Lounge. You've heard it here.
So untrue, but so kind. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun to record, so I truly hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Big shout out to Elliot for being such a fun and down-to-earth guest. Hopefully, we'll have more Sega peeps on the show soon. Stay tuned for that. The next few episodes will be filled with talk about games. Fan games, like a Dragon games of all sorts, really. Please do come back for more lounge goodness, and if you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it with others and tell them about the Sega Lounge. I hope you all have a great week, enjoy yourselves, and be sure to come back next week. Bye-bye! The Sega Lounge, hosted by me, KC, and part of Radio Sega's network of live shows and podcasts. Theme song and incidental music by OSC. Find them at opussciencecollective.bandcamp.com. Got any suggestions? Drop me an email to podcast@thesegalounge.com. Find us at The Sega Lounge on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find previous episodes of the show by going to thesegalounge.com and wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. A Mixed On Productions podcast.